Let's talk prospects, because if you're a fan and you're going to Arizona or Florida and you've got those, those Bowman rookie cards, first ever cards of some of these prospects, you want to get a signature, you go to spring training because you can get up close and personal with these players. Lance Brozdowski, who he knows this, he's the player development analyst for Marquee Sports Network, also an MLB Network contributor. He talks about prospects with me all the time. He joins our coverage on the MLB draft. So, Lance, when you look at prospects, if you're going to go and give any fan out there advice, if they're thinking between Arizona and Florida, I want to see the best prospects in the game, who would you tell them to go get a look at?
I think it's a very simple answer there. Go to Florida, go to Fort Myers and see the Red Sox because they have two of the best bats that I think will pop this season in spring, Roman Anthony and Christian Campbell. Now, the Red Sox have done a really good job in the last couple of years of building out a strong hitting department. They have internally what they call the core four, which are four metrics that they really use to gauge hitter performance. These guys are aware of where they stack up on these metrics. It's bat speed, so exit velocity, how hard you swing, bat to ball, contact rate, swing decisions, so are you swinging at things you can do damage on, and then ball flight, are you hitting the ball at the right angles? Both Roman Anthony and Christian Campbell are average to above average to even plus on some of these metrics internally. They expect both of these guys to impact the major league team probably this coming season and for multiple years beyond that. But the Red Sox hitting department is churning out guys, and they're doing it because they have a really nice modern approach in terms of blending analytics, making the players aware of what they value. And at the end of the day, that makes the players better.
A year ago, the top rookies in baseball, there was Luis Heel and Paul Skeens, two pitchers. They were your rookies of the year. If that theme were to continue in 2025, which starting pitcher do you think that will be?
Yeah, I'll go back to the Pirates. Give me Bubba Chandler. This guy is nasty. And for one particular reason, if you're looking at a prospect and you want to quiz me and go, okay, what are the three metrics you want to know that will make this guy really good? I want to predict it, right? I'm going to go with fastball velocity, what release height, so what angle is he kind of throwing from? And then I'm also going to look at what the ball's moving. Give me vertical break. On those three metrics, if you look at Bubba Chandler, he's sitting 97 last year, right? His release height's a little lower than average, and he's getting more vertical break than expected from his slot. This means that the angle at which the ball approaches the plate is kind of flat, and it's harder for guys to kind of line up and get on plane with that pitch. And he's throwing 3 ticks above average. And you may go, okay, I don't care about any of that. Is he throwing strikes? And the answer there is also yes. He pounds the zone. He gets a lot of strikes on the pitch. You think of Jared Jones, Spencer Strider, he's in that ilk to me alongside those guys. The Pirates have been churning out arms, and I think Bubba Chandler is going to be a stud.
This is the year in Pittsburgh. They're going to not just have a winning record, they're going to the playoffs. See, I said that. It's day one of baseball back, spring training. I'm thinking the Pirates are going to be playing in October. All right, Lance, so if I'm going to look at the whole field of prospects, and I want the most confident prospect that he thinks he's going to break camp and make a big league roster for opening day, which prospect should have the most confidence that he's going to do that?
Right now, I think the answer is Matt Shaw, who's potentially going to break camp at third base with the Cubs. The problem here is Alex Bregman, but I will go to that in a second. I know you guys have been covering this a lot. Shaw is a really interesting hitter. He's kind of closed off. You see that inside-out swing the other way. His favorite player growing up was Dustin Pedroia. There are some, similarities in how they move to some extent, but it's a really nice power speed combination. He's got some pop, big leg kick that has worked at every single level, despite some people saying maybe he needs to tone it down. But Bregman's really the issue here. I think that if Bregman does not sign with the Cubs, maybe the Cubs do in a direction like a Justin Turner, in which case Shaw would probably get the majority at bats. We've seen AAA pitching not nearly as strong as Major League pitching in terms of what hitters see. So that's maybe why the Wyatt Langfords and the Jackson Holidays have come up and struggle. But I wonder whether Shaw's approach at the plate is good enough to mitigate some of that damage and maybe not necessitate the Cubs having to go after Bregman.
We always get excited to see players from the previous year's draft make it to the big leagues the next year. I think it's exciting to see these first rounders actually exceed expectations quickly and be in the show. Give me the guy that you think from that 2024 draft class, they'll be the first to break it into the big leagues.
Ooh, the first to break in, I really like Chase Burns. I'm going to combo him up with Hagen Smith on the White Sox. First two pitchers drafted. When we were doing the draft last year, Greg, both these guys were going to go inside the top 10. It was just a matter of who they go to. Burns is your classic power righty, 697 plus, nasty slider. I like the Dylan Cease comp here because of how he cuts his fastball and the shapes he's able to create going glove side. We saw him throwing already off mound. He's using workload monitors, which is kind of this advanced idea that the Reds and a lot of those guys internally believe in. But I love him. I think he's going to pop eventually. And Hagen Smith's kind of a very different pitcher with the White Sox. He's a lefty, low slot guy, a lot of deception. He got a lot of swing and miss inside the strike zone. We didn't see as much of that when he jumped and made a slight cup of coffee with the high A squad with the White Sox, but I still expect him to miss a ton of bats. So these two guys are going to be studs. I hope they break in soon. And I love pitching, Greg.
And I love awards, Lance. I kind of come up with a bunch of baseball awards. The Austin Riley Award for Most Improved Big Leaguers, an award I think that we should create. How about this? The Paul Skeens Award, the prospect that became an immediate household name. Who do you think could win the Paul Skeens Award, which I just made up? It's not a real thing. Who could win the Paul Skeens Award in 2025?
Yeah, this one is one that I've had a lot of people in front offices tout to me, and I know he'd been floated in some trade talks, and the Rangers were like, no, basically. His name's Alejandro Rosario. He's a bit undersized, but he does some things with the ball that I think are exceptional. A lot of ride and run on his fastball. Sits, again, 97-plus velocity is king. He has a really distinct slider that I love. It's kind of down 84, and then he's got a nasty splitter that I just think is a filthy pitch in terms of the separation that he gets relative to his full-seam fastball. So this guy's rated as a pretty good prospect. I think he's probably a consensus, top 10, 15 pitching prospect in baseball, but I want to push him into the conversation as being one of the top 2 or 3 pitching prospects in baseball. I really like Rosario.
We covered a lot of territory, Lance Brozdowski, and we created a brand new baseball award. This is really a fruitful segment. Lance, best of luck. And hey, celebrate. Baseball's back, okay?
I'm really excited. Thanks for having me, Greg.
All right, there you have him. He's our prospect guru.